Boom, boom. I just saw something caught my attention. Another way, shift. First, this morning. Oh, but that happens. Stretch in the morning. Oh, man. Good news this morning. Phenomenal news. Wonderful news. Wonderful news. They found the cave, deep in the cave, 400 meters past where they thought they would be. Fantastic news. A great example that when people work together, it was over 1,000 people internationally were involved in that rescue. Everyone figured, oh, they're dead, they're gone. Thought they were gone. The boys are alive. Hang on. I'm a little discombobulated for a moment. Give me a minute. I don't have things going yet. I saw something. I have to post it. I haven't even thought about it yet. I saw it and I'm like, oh Lord, I gotta talk about this one real quick. It just came up on the Free Thought Project. I gotta share this out on my new page real quick. This might be a bit of a discussion. There, share. I had to share it because if you don't share stuff right away, you lose it. It's one of the most shocking facts in American history that I don't think I agree with. I know I don't agree with it, but the fact that people think these things, sometimes you got to think about it. It's a slavery post. I'm not sure. I love the Free Thought Project, so I'll put it up on the screen here in a minute. It just blew my whole train of thought off. Let me get it together. Get together. Peaceful, y'all. Think peaceful. When you get emotional about things, you can't talk about nothing. When you get emotional, you can't think. Our emotions betray us like you would not ever believe. It's how they always play us against ourselves and against each other. Don't get emotional. All right, let me get the comments up. Discombobulated. Get my act together this morning. Discombobulated. It's not, I didn't want to talk about, I want to talk about Rome and the Roman road. Y'all see the road behind me? Y'all see the road behind me? We'll talk about that post in a minute, but first, this message is brought to you by the Roman Empire. And you look behind me like, that don't look like no Roman road behind you. I know what the Roman roads look like. I took history. That's not a Roman road. I know it's not. The Romans learned to build roads from somebody. Somebody taught them when you have roads. Well, before I go there, if you haven't heard the saying, it's a saying that goes, all roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. And I don't think we think about why. Like I used to say it all the time as a kid. All roads lead to Rome. Why do all roads lead to Rome? I think for the same reason all corruption leads to America. That's what I think. I think all roads lead to Rome because all corruption leads to America. With empires, when they build up in big, massive, horrible imperialistic empires, they got to make a whole bunch of roads. They got to have a whole bunch of big trade deals, international trade deals, the ones that y'all are crying about, the trade wars that are just, oh, they're just so bad. Those are roads. Americans and big banks and central banks build trade deals and international trade agreements, the same reason Romans built roads, which is why all corruption leads back to America. Because the Romans couldn't keep their empire unless they made roads. So they made the roads to keep the slaves because you had to keep troops up the road. You had to get the heavy equipment, which is why Rome took over everybody. Rome didn't take over everybody because they were smart, because they were intelligent, because they were faster. No, they weren't strong. They were none of that. Damn it, they had big military equipment that they could murder a whole bunch of people with. So they had to keep the roads up to keep the slaves in place, which actually, it's the post I just saw. I'm going crazy in my head because of the post I just saw. But there's not a Roman road behind me. Y'all know what this is, which is why I love ancient archaeology. Y'all remember a couple months ago we were talking about it. Alexander Koltipan, the Russian, he's Russian. So for y'all who hate Russia, put your Russian racism away for a minute. He's Russian. They're starting to actually translate his work into English now. He has a YouTube channel. I have to post it if I didn't post it. Y'all see this? Equally spaced tracks in rock. Okay, you can look at a Roman road and you can see some tracks in a Roman road. But this is one track from one machine in rock that only could be made millions of years ago. Chew on that for a minute. Does that look like two boulders rolling together? And they turn, see how they turn up the road together? Alexander Coulter, you should look his work up. He gets out there. He gets out. He's deep. He's a deep brother. He gets down into the fairies and all kind of other crazy alien type stuff, but I won't go there. I'm just thinking about, so I want the roads behind me because the Romans learned to build roads from somebody. I think they saw these tracks all over the, but anyway. I gotta look at this post real quick. So anyway, so my basic thought this morning is that why do we always talk about America? And it seems like it's politics, but it's not. Like I had a good discussion with a brother yesterday. He said, because I was explaining to him, it's like, well, people gotta come across lines. They gotta put this tribalism crap down. They gotta put all this division and this silliness down that's actually causing all the problems. And fix the system, or change the system, a paradigm. Change the paradigm, change the model for the world where a few greedy bastards run everything and everybody's always cheering for it. He said, well, you're contradicting yourself because you're saying we got to get out of politics, but back to the politics. I know, I made a bad boy. He's a good brother. Actually, his voice is deeper than mine, but that's not the point. You won't have freedom in your country until you resolve the corruption in your country. The few greedy bastards at the top that run everything. And there's almost no nation in this world that's not touched by American greed. Well, I gotta say it the right way. United States Corporation. The United States Corporation is a department of Wall Street and banks that runs everything. Their tentacles are in every country, every nation, every continent. I mean, looking at, the whole Iran thing and how Trump and Obama who playing footsie, I don't believe they're any different. You believe they're different because you watch that fake news and you believe them lying on television. I was trying to figure out yesterday, how come around every turn, Trump says something negative about Obama? Why does he do that? Why does he always, well, Obama did this, so I'm gonna do this. Obama did this, so I'm gonna do this. Obama did this, I'm gonna do it. And it's because he's trying to convince you of something. If you keep hearing it repetitively, think, oh yeah, this is different. We got to get behind Trump, and they're like, oh, this is different. We got to fight Trump. And the reality is it's the same, but that's why he keeps repeating it. It's a psychological. I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you say. Trump is brilliant. This guy is a genius. He is a freaking genius. He somehow made a whole world full of intellects chase him on Twitter. So I don't want to hear nothing about he's stupid. He's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's playing everybody. But anyway, here's the point. He keeps talking about how things are different. But look at Iran. So they're talking about OPEC, and they're trying to step up production by 2 million barrels so they can do the sanctions against Iran, which is the same thing Obama did. Same exact thing, same thing. They want war with Iran. They're playing footsie, Obama and Bush and Obama and Trump and Obama and everybody in the White House doing this, playing footsie until the camera comes on and then they move their feet and they're like they didn't touch anybody. It's sanctions. They all are in league. This is why no matter where you are in the world, you actually need to be focused on American politics. You do not politics in like the divide up strategy, but the human rights aspects. Because like I said, this is what I was telling the brother. None of this is politics. None of this is political. All of this is human rights. Every last drop of it is all human. Starving people, murdering people, building trade deals and roads all over there. Why all the roads lead back to America? None of that's politics. None of it. All of it, absolutely all of it is human rights. All of it right now. And in the future, if we get our act together as 7 billion people, we can make it politics again. And those of us who don't care about this stuff can go back to growing some vegetables. But right now, it's not. We can't focus on growing vegetables and herbs. We got to do that, but we can't focus on it because we got to pay attention to the special people, the gullible people who are like falling in with all of this. All roads lead back to Rome, back to America. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to say this blew me off. I looked at this post, and this is going to throw off my train of thought for a minute. We can talk about the million-year-old tracks made by a tank, a boat, something with some wheels, an amphibious device. We're not talking about that for a minute. Because the human race is millions of years old. Trust me, the human race is millions of years, and whatever came before us, was probably 100 million years back before that, there was something here. Yeah, yeah, just follow the evidence. They might find the giants and hide the giant skeletons, but they're not hiding this. Like, that's stone, those tracks. That takes millions of years to happen. So anyway, all right. Alexander Coltypan, look him up. All right, let me put my coffee down. I saw this post. I'm gonna see if I agree with this. This is kind of rough. Where's my page at? And you're not on my new page. Go to my new page. Like my page, man. What's it called? Yada Gerard. Free the planet or bust. I'm gonna start posting more and more. I'm not posting everything on my page. I'm posting over there. I'm posting other things over there. So, because I got, again, my family gaslick. I don't. I scared too many of my friends. All right, here we go. This is what I want to show you. All right, let's see if this will come up. This is a little bit scary. It's a little scary. I got to do this. Hold on. And I didn't really read this yet, and I haven't really thought about it too much. But it's about slavery, and unfortunately, it does seem like a lot of people today are okay with slavery. They're okay. Ancestors came from it, but they're okay with it now. But I saw this, and it kind of triggered me. Trigger! Hit my trigger. Don't have triggers, y'all. Don't have triggers. Don't let things trigger you, but I want to see what this is talking about. So this is what I saw right here. And this is on Free Thought Project. I like them. If y'all don't follow them, y'all should follow Free Thought Project. But this kind of discombobulated me for a minute. So the most shocking fact in American history, the majority of freed slaves had a positive, had, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the had. I can't read so well, y'all. That's why my kids like, Daddy, you can't read. You can write some software, make a drone that can grow some food, make a drone that can, target you with a water gun, but you can't read, Daddy, you can't read. All right. The majority of freed slaves had a positive view of the institution of slavery, and many unabashedly wished to return to slavery. Why? Because they had come to view the slave master as the provider for free services, stability, and security. They could not easily imagine a life of freedom. Now think about the assumptions you were born into. Change my mind. Damn it, I agree. That's true. That's not fake news. That's not fake news. Don't have a fakeable intellect. That's not fake news. This is real. This is true. Most people now are born into slavery. They're born into forced labor and slave-like conditions, and they don't want to get rid of them. So they embrace it, and it's no different than when you release a slave, right? Because if you are a slave and you've been a slave, your daddy was a slave, mama was a slave, everybody's slave, just slaves everywhere. Y'all just going back generations. This is your reality. That's your reality. Damn it, we need food. Massa got to feed us. Where the food coming from? It's coming from Massa. Don't piss Massa off or he won't feed you. This is true. When you're born in America, this is what your parents teach you. Baby, this is what you are. You are this race, you're this religion, you're this class, you live in this state, you got to be beholden to this state, and this is your county, this is your football team that you follow, here's your high school, you got to fight with the other high school, they're the other kids, you can play with them, but you got to compete with them, get a job, beat them out of resources, beat them out of money, and because they walk us into that human farming. So I totally agree with it. I take it back. I was triggered. I was like, trigger. I got pissed off for a minute. I was like, what the hell? And I stopped and I thought about it. And I said, yeah, no, this is true. This is true. We are constantly in a place of walking people out of the slave mind. Constantly we got to do it. People who have recent histories. Like I always say, everybody has a history back to slavery. Everybody. I don't care what you look like. You look in the mirror, you go back, there's some ancestors that 1% took and murdered and threw them in a hole and stole their land. Everybody. Every last one of you. So, but even people with a recent history, they embrace it. I don't understand why. Because it's what's talked about so much. All right, but I don't want to talk about it. That's not what I'm... I'll be curious to see the responses to that. That's not what it triggered me for a minute. I thought I saw some Kanye stuff up there. I was like, Kanye, let yay be yay. And gotta let yay be yay. I'm okay with that. Let yay be yay. Be whatever you are. Whatever you are, be that. Let raw be raw. Damn it, this me. You don't know me. It's because you look at my skin color, you look at my eye color. I got 2 feet, born in America. You don't know nothing about me. Because every now and then I might say I'm Christian to try to trigger somebody. You know nothing about me. None of that means anything. Like a lot of my homosexual friends. That's one thing. One thing and millions of things about them. You don't know nothing about them because they say that. So stop pretending you know people because that. Anyway. Let yay be yay. Let you be you. And we don't know what you are. And just because you're that one thing doesn't mean you associate with anybody else or agree with anybody else of that one thing. Be deeper than that, y'all. Be deeper. The other thing I was thinking about, I'm looking at the comments, but the other thing I was thinking about, natural law. Natural law. Man, I think this is it. I'm going down. This is where, oh, this was a good crosstalk. I had to watch this right here, crosstalk. Watch that crosstalk. Let me say, maybe I'll go to this meme real quick. Can I go to it? Yeah, this is a good meme. Can I move it? I can move it. No, I can't move it. All right. Fake news requires fakeable intellects. It's always been printed. There's nothing new about fake news. Fake news has been here since the beginning of time. Don't fight fake news. Keep fake news. Fake news needs to stay. This is how we learn. We learn from fake news. That mouse right there, he needs to go bite. Can you see it? Can y'all see it? I can make it bigger. All right. That mouse, this is a mouse about to bite some cheese. Let me try to clean this up, move it over here so y'all can totally see it. There you go. Fake news requires fakeable intellects. The thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have a fakeable intellect? Do you? People write it already like, nah, I don't have no fakeable intellect, man. I know what I'm talking about. I read stuff. I don't believe nothing. I don't trust nobody. I don't believe. I tell you, I have a fakeable intellect. I don't know about you. Maybe you're just smarter than I am. You can fake me. Oh, they've been faking me my whole life. But every day, they fake me less. This is how it works. Every day, they fake me less. We all get faked out. We all get faked out because, unfortunately, we don't know everything. We're not universal. We can't be in Syria, in Palestine. We can't be in the Congo. We can't be in Thailand. We can't. Well, by the way, did I say Thailand? They got the boys out. Y'all need to be saying happiness and thanking whatever you tapped into spiritually to raise a positive elevation that they actually got those 12 kids out of that hole. I heard about that driving into work. I was like, man, that just did my heart. They pulled the 12 boys out. They haven't got them out yet. They're still trapped in the cave because they had to do scuba through tunnels and stuff to try to get to them. And the water's still rising. And now they got to send in the scuba gear to actually get them to swim out themselves. But great news, great news. Together, people, we can do great things. Anyway, we all got fakeable intellects. We can all be faked out. We get all of our news from the news. So how can you not have a fakeable intellect? All the news is controlled. So of course we all get fooled. Try not to get fooled less, or try to get fooled less every day. How do you do that? You talk to people who live in those places. You talk to people who live in Alabama. You talk to people who live in the ghetto in Detroit. You talk to people who live over there and get the experience from them on the ground so they can tell you that the news is lying about what's happening in my area. I don't really hate you. I don't really hate you. The news says that I hate you. I don't hate you. I may not like you. I don't know nothing about you. Never been to your area, but don't try not to have a fakeable intellect. That mouse is that's a piece of paper, by the way. That's fake cheese. He's going to bite that cheese. He's going to get snapped. Try to be smart enough, because the baby mice, they're probably in the hole right now watching about, Mama about to get us some cheese. Mama going to get the cheese. Mama going to get the cheese. And they're probably happy, getting ready, getting all excited. And all of a sudden, Mama get the paper cheese. And all of a sudden, all you hear is, Mama gone, Mama gone. And the question is, the next generation, what are they watching? Were they paying attention? Or were they playing on their smartphones? What's that game? Fortnite? Were they playing on this? Were they playing on the smartphone? Were they watching Mama like, dang, what happened to Mama? Why her eyeballs popping out like that? She ain't moving. What happened to Mama? Next generation, always be watching. Never be too led astray into the games. Never be too led astray into the distractions. Always pay attention to what happened to the previous generation. Otherwise, you're going to get snapped too. That's not what I wanted to show you. I was having a little fun this morning. I saw a few things. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta show this. Sometimes I get out there, I start making memes. I'm like, oh man, I gotta do this real quick. This is a weird thing. I don't know how you operate between a page and your own page. It's a crazy thing. I'll figure it out. Until then, I think my posts go in multiple places. Something I wanted to go down and say, oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. Natural law. Natural law. Principles. Man's law versus natural law. According to the law of nature, it is only fair that no one should become richer through damages and injuries suffered by another. Natural law. Natural law. Principles. I'm always going back to the 10 Commandments. Why? Because if Brother Vegan was here, he'd tell you Christians took over the world. And me associating loosely with that group, I always have to approach it from that perspective, because they lost sight of their 10 Commandments and they're not following their God, they're following demons. Principles, right? If you can't attach to your principles, if you don't even know what they are, how can you be you, right? If you have no principles, how can you be you? You're not you. You're being led astray. People are telling you what to believe. You have a negotiable you. You don't have, how can you have humanity? What is a human if you don't have principles? You have nothing. You're just basically an automaton, a clone where man's laws are constantly convincing you and updating and changing you over time to their whim. You're farmable. If we all don't adhere to some very basic root principles, then they can take your religion and make you look really stupid. Not really stupid, but they can take you from worshiping a God to being a demon for the devil. Amen, amen. Can I amen, church? All right, let's look at natural law versus man's law. Natural law is based on principles of truth inherent to creation. Principles of truth, not any selective anything. Man's law is based on dogmatic beliefs. I believe this, and so because I believe this, you got to believe it too, or I'm invade your country, murder you, take everything you got, rape your kids. Man's law versus natural law. Selective versus universal. Natural law, harmonized with, due to knowledge and understanding. Knowledge is a good thing, y'all. Understanding is an awesome, amazing thing. Like I said, you know the kids in Detroit? Do you know the kids in Alabama? Do you know the kids in Gaza? Do you know the kids in Kansas? Universal versus selective. Man's law is compiled with, due to fear of punishment. Remember we talk about fear, talk about human farming? When you scared people and you convinced them that they weren't going to have something in the future unless they did what you wanted to do. This is how America was lost. America was taken, they grabbed America not by the cojones, no, they grabbed America by the intellect. They grabbed America by the intellect, took it, dragging Wall Street, got the big banks, took it, and they own it. This is why all roads lead back to Rome. This is why you always have to, if you want to be free in your country, you want to have liberty, you want to have rights, you don't want to have militaries coming down on you, drones flying over, software, monitoring everything that you damn do, everything you say, you have to look at American non-politics. Because this was all selective. It was all done for, not necessarily for America, because at a time Britain was in that spot. At a time the Huns were in that spot. At a time, who took over Egypt? Was that King Nahum? At a time he was in that spot. So all over the world, you've got these colonized, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayans, all of them did it. The indigenous people in America, all of them did it. Oh, well, not all. There's some cultures that didn't do the whole imperialistic colonizer imperial thing, but all roads lead back to Rome. All corruption leads back to whoever is the highest corruptible force, whoever has the most military, the most men to kill, the most need of those roads to send things. Okay, so yeah, this is how we lost America right here, y'all. Everybody around the world, 7 billion people should be cheering for American intellects. That's what y'all should be doing. Y'all should be cheering for Americans to get their intellect, their universal intellects back, not their selective intellects. Okay, next. There are any hate Trumpers in the crowd? Where are my hate Trumpers? Hate Trumpers, y'all still marching and hate Trump? Trump has nothing. That's selective in its own. Think about that. The people who love him, the people hate. It's selective. Natural law versus man's law. You might pick your man Obama. You might pick your man Bush. They might pick the man Trump. Do you see how dumb this gets after a while? Okay, so universal. So natural law, universal. Universal, it exists and applies anywhere in the universe, regardless of location. It can be in Detroit. It can be in Washington, D.C. It can be in the Appalachian Mountains. It can be in Thailand. Damn, it could be on Mars. It could be anywhere. And it applies to every creature, every species. It's a universal law, which is why they call it natural law. It's how things work on the micro and the macro everywhere. It's completely applicable, no matter what skin you were born into, how many feet you got, how many eyes you got, if you got some tentacles or some reptile skin. Y'all believe in reptilians? I think the reptilians might be real, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I wasn't here back then. All right, man's law. It differs with location. It's based upon the whims of the legislators. Oh, tough word. You could replace legislators with king, lord, same thing. The feudal system never went away. It's still here, but it's selective, right? It's like, it's okay if your kids get murdered. I don't want my kids to get murdered. It's okay that we invade you and bomb your land and take your land, but I don't want that to happen to mine. It's okay if we deploy the war on drugs to your country. We destabilize everything and people run screaming to get away from the murders, bloody bands of men, gangs destroying their homes. Nobody wants to leave their home, but it's okay if I don't want that to happen to me. Selective man's law versus natural law. You can replace natural law at this point. You see where I'm going. You can replace natural law with another word. If you want to. You can replace it with God's law. You can't replace it if you want to. Works the same. You can replace it with source law. You can replace it with. You can actually replace it with Hermetic law. You can replace it with Shiva's law. You can replace it with Buddha's law, Muhammad's law. Do you follow the law or do you follow the man? Do you worship a God or do you worship the man? Do you worship the nature or understand and respect the nature? Do you respect the God or do you respect the man? This is where we got to get to. When people agree universally across the board, and I am going to go to comments, that's when we get somewhere. This is how the West was lost. Now they say the West was won. The West was not won. This is how the West was lost. Natural law, last one. Eternal and immutable. Exists and applies for as long as the universe exists and cannot be changed. It's timeless. It will never change. It works. It works for everybody. You know the lie they tell people? They tell them to say, well, you can't please everybody. That's a lie. You can please everybody. Leave them the hell alone. You can please everybody. You know, man's law. It changes with time based upon the whims of legislators. And it's not legislator in terms of politician. They just fit into the little ignorant slot of people who are writing the laws that are breaking down natural laws, that are against natural laws. They're just the ones, they're the same ones who canonized the Bible. They're the same ones who modified the scriptures, deleted, threw whole books out. Like, just the whole books. They just threw them out. Didn't want them to be anywhere near the Bible because they didn't want them to be anywhere near your intellect. They didn't want you to know, let me make this... and make this smaller. If anybody just came in, they don't want you to know them tracks are there. That's what they don't want you to know. It's like, oh, hell no, we can't have them looking back. We can't have the Christians, they could read the Bible and they know that creatures were here millions of years ago and God probably did that, the creator, whatever, they did this a whole bunch of times before. No, we need to convince them that they stupid. This is the first run at this. That it hadn't failed 100,000s or whatever times before because all the dummies got together. They threw out natural law, God's law, and gave everything to man, for man's law. They became selective over time. They became selective from a timely perspective, an ignorant perspective. All right, I'm gonna go to the comments. I'm getting drinking a little too much coffee this morning, but all roads lead back to Rome. But the question is why? Because corruption needs a military. Man's law requires force. Natural law does not. Universal law does not. I don't know if Emerson, Brother Emerson said it the other day, said it 2 months ago, and I've been chewing on it ever since. I love it. He said, basically, he said, if you have to use force, it's a bad law. If you have to use force, it's a bad idea. If you need a military, it's a bad idea. If you need to go into school with a gun, it's a bad idea. If you need to go to the marathon with a bomb, it's a bad idea. If your government needs a military, they're planning to do something bad. This is why you go back. This is why I say in America, they get lost because they say, I'm a patriot, nationalism. No, you're not. You're a sellout. You didn't gave up on the founding fathers. The founding fathers actually wrote a constitution that kind of sort of came close to natural law. They missed it in a bunch of spots, But damn it, they were probably the closest government that has ever come to natural law and just leaving people alone. Natural law versus man's law. That's why all roads lead back to Rome. It's because we constantly agree with man's law instead of natural law, and it requires a lot of force to force people to do things that they don't want to do. Watch the tracks, the millions of years old. Wanda is amazingly brilliant. Yes, she is, Crystal. Wanda is freaking amazing. Wanda always anytime Wanda Lee posts something, y'all gotta read it. That woman, I don't know where her brain came from, but she gets it. It seems like she got it for a long time. Y'all should definitely follow her if you don't. Good morning, brother Kevin on YouTube. Love and light to all the truth seekers through the day. There is none of them, only us. Yeah, well, there is no them, only right. There's no others. Brother Kevin always spot. There's no them. There are no others. It's just us. That's all it is. And we're just one. We are one big multicellular quantum physics entangled creature where you can't invade Syria or Iran without chopping off your arm. They're a part of you. They are you. They are a part of all of this. Next time you're on Claudia's, keep a lookout for the bears. No, Ish, I don't know. I'm only going to Claudia's when the bear's asleep. I'm not doing that, Ish. I went up there. Oh my goodness. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do bears. I don't know. Nope. I'm not scared of wasps. I had a wasp on my hand yesterday. No, it wasn't my fingers, my arm. The wasp landed on me. I watched that brother Carl. He's my bee guy. Everybody needs a bee guy. He's a bee guy, real smart guy. I have to have him on the show one day. Have him explain beekeeping to you. But the wasp landed on him and it started eating the skin. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? You crazy? I was like, Carl, something not working up there. But he's like, no, I know what I'm doing. He's like, watch this. He said, just the wasp, it just wants a little meat. And the wasp literally was like biting his finger, just eating a little skin and then flew away. So of course I had to be a man. I was like, I ain't let brother Carl be a man. I'll be some kind of punk. So yesterday the wasp landed on me. I just sat right there. Same thing happened. I felt so good I had to post it. The wasp landed on me. It just started chewing on my skin and then it flew away. It didn't feel, it kind of tickled a little bit. Well, the beetle tickled when the beetle was eating my skin, eating the Wawa sauce the other day. Crazy things happen to me. Y'all got to follow my post so you won't know what's going on. But the wasp landed and it just sent all these thoughts going through my head, just like, right, our war on nature. We don't understand these things. They're not out to kill us. Bears out to kill you. Ish, stop it with the bears. They're out to kill you. But the wasp, because it's not because the bear hates me. It's because the bear just has a hole in the tummy. He wants to put little brown guys in the hole in his tummy. That's just how little white guys too, little yellow guys, purple guys, little girls too. It doesn't really matter. The bear got a big hole in his stomach. But wasp, it is big, y'all. It is big. You have no business going to Home Depot or the big box stores to get neonicotinoid pesticides to spray wasp nests. People, stop doing that. You're destroying our environment. We all have to address the ignorance in our own eye. Stop looking at the ignorance in your brother's eye and look at the Bible says this. And don't look at the ignorance that's on your whole face and all over your body. Just ignorance everywhere, because we all do dumb things. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging. But all corruption leads back to America. This is why Putin took on the United States with the neonicotinoid pesticides. What do you say? A war could probably get started over this. All corruption leads back this way. And that it's still applicable, because we look at the neonicotinoid pesticides killing off the bees, which is why food prices are so high to begin with. And they can come down when you let the bees do their job. They're not spraying no damn mosquito spray in my damn township when I'm trying to breathe air coming in my window. Killing off the bees, killing off the wasps, the food price goes up. But we do the same dumb thing. That's part of the Hermetic laws, how things work in macro as they do micro. When you do dumb things, you see the wasp nest, you go get the spray, you spray, it goes in the groundwater, they can't filter it out, the kids end up with cancer because they're drinking the water. Same damn thing. How can we judge a government for doing stupid stuff like that and we do it? Let the wasp chew on your skin, y'all. Just stay away from it. If you're scared of hornets or wasps, stay away from them. You can even have the nest move. That's one thing brother Carl does. I go out to his page every now and watch him like picking up a wasp nest. They like put it in a bucket and they'll move it somewhere else. And it's just like, wow. They're not wasps, I think bees. I don't know if he moves wasps. All right. I like to see proof of that. Sounds like whitewashing to me. Hey, Barbie, I'm sorry, I'm hyping in the comments. I don't know if y'all talking to each other, talking to me. I got proof of everything. I don't say anything unless it's true. So it must have been someone else said something in the room. But yeah, I don't say it because looking stupid is a bad idea. We can't have honest conversations unless we have facts that we talk about. Now, mind you, we can add to those facts, but you say things that are true. And someone can add to it. Someone can probably take a little bit from it, but it's based in facts. And that's how you evolve and you learn as a people. But you got to talk about those things, but you can't talk about things that aren't true, that you want to be true. This is the whole belief thing. Back to man's law, belief, right? We can't inflict and enforce laws over other people that we believe. We can't enforce religions on people that we believe. Our beliefs are for us, they're personal. But I missed what y'all was talking about. What's kind of funny is that with each new president election, we get all hopeful. We're so gullible that we believe our candidates are of choice, even though every candidate before has lied. The mouse of today is smart and often bypasses the trap and still gets the cheese. Many of us are not even as wise as the mouse. Brother Anthony, spot on as always. And this is the problem. This is why we have to troll. This is the importance of having trolls. You have to troll these politicians, right? But troll the politician, blame the system. To me, it's funny to make jokes. You make jokes about Obama selling out. You make jokes about now Trump selling out. He's not doing a damn thing for anybody. He's doing the same thing. Well, no, he's doing a lot for the billionaires and the national billionaires, and probably some international ones too. His friends, his buddies in the guild, but nobody through Mid-America is on his side. Same thing with the people who voted for Obama, like, Obama gonna save us, Obama gonna save us. And he built more prisons and elementary schools and rolled out the police state. It's the same thing. But we have to, I think, Brother Anthony, I think it's about reminding people, constant reminder that these people lie. They lie because they're trying to invoke more of man's laws to make a lot of money for the Wall Street businesses that fund both parties, that the businesses that run one party are the same businesses that run the other party. So it is logically impossible that either president, administration from either those two parties will do anything significantly different. It is impossible. They're going to do the same thing. And that's why Trump always says, well, Obama did it this way, I'm going to do it that way. Obama said he liked blue, I'm going to paint the White House walls white. Big difference. And meanwhile, send all these poor American kids to go get murdered and murder a bunch of people in Iran and Syria to steal their land. All the Facebook family talking about flags for tomorrow. Put up Yemen, Palestine, Syria, Iranian flags instead. Sounds good, Ish. I'm on that. Love it. Love it. We have to show solidarity with human beings all over the planet. We got to put our feet in their shoes all over the planet. That's the only way we stop this. When we stop having liable brains that are easily lied to. That's why they lied to us. Why is the government behind fake news? Why did Obama run out the Propagation Act? The Propagation Act. Let me put some plants. He didn't do that. That was Michelle Obama. She didn't put some organic plants in. I was okay with that. He didn't do that. He rolled out the Propaganda Act. He's going to propagate some propaganda. That's what's good. Why does the government lie to you? Why is the government behind fake news? Because we are fake news. We are fakeable. We keep getting faked out. We keep believing the crap. We got to stop believing the crap. Yes, principles before personalities, Mark. We have to go back to core principles, core basic natural law. If you want to go with your 10 commandments, you want to go with the basis of your whatever your group religion, but you got to have the core principles in. If you don't have the core principles in, then they'll point to the road right there and they say, we don't know what that is, but it doesn't there. You don't see it. Nope, it's not there. That's not 2 tracks. That's 2 sticks. The Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus Rex dragged through the rock 1,000,000 years ago. That was not a vehicle that was being driven around on the earth millions of years ago, right? We can't be live. Don't be liable. Don't make it easy for them to lie to you. Otherwise, they keep doing it. But I think what happens is people look at that personality, like Brother Mark just said. People look at that personality and they're like, oh, well, this is my guy. Because this is my guy, I'm going to accept the lie and I'm going to push the lie out on everybody else. thinking that my guy is for me. No, Trump is not for you. Doesn't matter if you voted for him. No, Obama wasn't for them neither. And Clinton wasn't going to be for them neither. Nothing was going to be so any different. Don't enforce a lie over the planet because these people aren't trying to help you. These people are bought and paid for. These people, and whatever you're helping them lie with, whatever you're cheering with them, it's going to come back on your children. That's how it works. Good morning, Carla. Good morning. Wanda got a whole bunch of good posts this morning, which is why we seem to agree on not believing in religious, but believing in God. Yes, Brother Joe, spot on. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm to a point where I think I really believe that most of these books and scriptures have been modified over time, that they are man's laws. They are man pretending to be God. And I wasn't ready to hear that. It took me a long time to be ready to hear that. But now I hear that. I hear it loud and clear. And you have to, whether you're religious or not, we have religion. Unfortunately, Brother Vegan here, I know he said, I seen him posting. He's trying. So we have to constantly remind people of the principles of their group. If the principles of their group is go around a bunch of murder people, okay, then they're good to go. That's your religion. That makes sense. But if that's not the principle of your group, and it's just the personalities in power that want to make some money lying to people, then you got to turn away from that, y'all. We got to be true. Like, we got to have integrity. That more than anything else. We got to have integrity. If we don't get integrity back, we're done for. We're done. That's why you think we don't know the people who made these tracks millions of years ago. Why? Because they're dead. They're, well, one of two things. They're either dead, the reptilians, whatever they are. They're dead. Well, they said, all right, we're done. We're getting off of this planet. And they got the hell out of here. We need to follow in the footsteps of them and realizing that something came before that's not here now. And there's a reason. They either went extinct because they did all the things that were in Revelations, all the apocalypse, all the things, all the reasons why you have natural law. Because if you don't follow natural law, the world gets destabilized and gets destroyed. Or eventually the earth, the sun swells, asteroids come, waters rise, calamity happens, climate change, which changes all the damn time, kills everybody. That's why we have to be focused on the greater prize. We have to be focused on what is the goal for humanity? What is real? We don't know what's real. We all have little bits and pieces and parts of all of this nonsense. And if we don't get a sense of self, if we don't go back to being some sort of a worldwide community, if we don't take in input from everywhere, we're going to stay stupid. Do you really want to stay stupid? Do you want to get some integrity back? Like, here's an example. Sister Emmy came up in the room. I follow Sister Emmy. If y'all don't follow Sister Emmy, y'all need to follow Sister Emmy. There are a lot of things that we don't understand. There are a lot of things they're tapped into. Like, oh, here's a good example. Brother Carl. So Brother Carl had a guy scares the hell out of me something. He picked up a carpenter bee once to show me that it's not going to bite you, dummy. It's not going to sting you. I'm like, oh man, I learned. I thought you were crazy at first. Then he let the hornet and the I think it was a hornet or wasp land on him and eat his skin. And I'm like, wow. Like, I'm learning. I'm like, man, this guy is in touch with something that I'm not, right? This guy's in touch. I've been indoctrinated to have this fear of bees and all of these things. Bears, keep your fear of bears, y'all. I'm not backing down. Not backing down. Sorry. But look at what other people have talents for. There are a lot of people who are exposed to more spirituality than you. There are a lot of people who are empaths. There are a lot of people who are tapped into these things. You have the Nikola Teslas. You have the Edgar Caseys. You have the people who have the ability to tap into those things. And if we don't actually pay attention to what's powerful in other people, then we're not as powerful. We are selectively lost in man's law and our little indoctrination. And the universe is a big place. That's why I like aliens. I like to talk about aliens. A big place. Vegan gone. Oh, Vegan said something true. He said something true. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Crystal, what'd he say? Vegan. That's my anti-Christian troll. No woman wants to be needed. Oh, we're not going down that road. Nope, not going down that road. I'm not touching none of that. None of that. Right now, I'm studying the Roman Empire. Essential learning backstories is key to understanding the system and politics of government. Absolutely. Because Sandra, I don't think it's ever changed. I don't think any of this changed. I don't think any of this changed. I think the governments have always done what they've always done. They've done what the lords and the kings have done. They did what the Egyptian kings did. They did what the Greek leaders did. Like, none of this has changed. We've been played generation after generation after generation after generation in trusting people we shouldn't trust. I think it's powerful. And please share with us, Sandra, as you study the Roman Empire, because we got to look at what they did, because the same thing they did against their people, they're doing against us today. That would be the best and most American thing to do. International flags. Yes, Miss Tree. Yes. Yes. That's why Kaepernick, when I have Kaepernick, people are like, who Kaepernick? I hadn't heard of that guy. Why does that sound familiar? Does he? Kaepernick, is that? They done forgot who he is. Don't look at a person's protest. Like, don't look at how they protest, whether you agree with it. Think about what they're protesting about. I love talking about Kaepernick because he demonstrated something very powerful. He stood up and said, stop shooting white kids. Like, no, he didn't. He didn't say that. He said, stop shooting. He stood up against police brutality. And now we know the #1 victim of police brutality, which I always go back to. But that's what I mean, is that everyone's bringing their truth. Everybody has their little segment, their area of experience, their passion to do something. This is why I'm saying why we're all one. We work together as a phenomenal organism if we're all one. If we're all divided up, then you don't understand what somebody's saying. You don't know why they have that passion and why they were triggered. Something triggered him to not stand up, but to kneel down, right? And if you don't let your nationalistic, indoctrinated nonsense take you over for some little silly flag that some colonizer made up after they dominated and killed and murdered your people, and either murdered and took their land, or murdered and took their land and forced them to get on a boat to go murder other people and take their land, then you understand that we all work together united. We all have those areas that we do well at. Like they pulled the kids out of the cave, those 12 kids. Some countries had the sonar. Some countries had better divers. The Thai government had the military on the ground. And after working together, after 10 days, trapped in a massive hole in the ground, some humans came together and saved those 12 kids. I actually want to look at that real quick. Saved those 12 kids. It's just a story that, again, hermetic law. Things work together on the micro scale as they do the macro. When human beings work together, phenomenal things can happen. But when we're divided up and we're just silly and ignorant and we're fighting each other and we believe our birth indoctrinations and this stork racism and things that we're given that we don't need, things that are just utilized to divide us up and to keep us in our little ignorant boxes, and we don't have a future. Let me show you this. I gotta show you this. This was some awesomeness. This is what triumph looks like. You know, when we excel is when we lay down our little silliness. This is when I mean, watch this report. I don't think that's I'm gonna have to redo this. I gotta redo it. Hold on. That's not gonna show the way I need it to show. I'm not even sure what news station this is. This might, hold on, we have to watch this one. I usually watch Al Jazeera and RT, but I just did a quick search and this one came up. Let's see what she got. Uh-oh, CBS. Oh, fake news. This might not be true. What are they gonna say? This is CBS. They say they can't find the kids. We don't know where they are. We're looking everywhere. They just can't find them. And everybody's selling them to like some pedophiles or something. We can't find the kids. I don't know where they are. So I don't know what CBS is gonna say. Let me play CBS and see what they say. They might lie. That's not might lie. I think they are gonna lie. Hold on.
They're safe. Have you heard this story? They were missing for 10 days, but experts say it could take months to get them out. Now, this is the first image of the missing little boys who range in age from 11 to 16 years old, so they're young. Rescuers found them yesterday about 2.5 miles inside that flooded cave system.
More than 1,000 rescuers from around the world searched for 10 days. Now they must decide how to guide the boys to a safe area. Ben Tracy is in Chiang Rai, Thailand, near the cave where they were found. Ben, good morning.
Good morning. So this is exciting news. Not only did they find these boys inside this cave, but they say they're in good condition. They're now giving them a high protein liquid diet. They're giving them antibiotics. They're trying to get their strength back up because the focus of this operation now shifts to how you actually get them out of the cave.
Those were the first words from the boys after being found by 2 British divers 10 days after they went missing inside the intricate cave system.
How many of you? 13. Brilliant.
Still in their soccer uniforms and huddled together just above floodwaters, the boys ask for food and when they can go home.
Not today. Oh, not today.
For their parents waiting above ground, the news that they're safe ended days of waiting and praying. The 12 boys and their 25-year-old assistant coach disappeared on June 23rd after soccer practice. Their bikes and cleats were found just outside the caves. They apparently went in to explore and became trapped by flooding caused by heavy rain. The Tham Luang cave system in Chiang Rai stretches about 6 miles into the mountain. First responders had to go about 2.5 miles from the cave system's entrance through passages obstructed by thick mud and high water to find the group. They were located near a chamber known as Pattaya Beach, which has a higher elevation.
So, I'm gonna stop there. Wonderful place to stop. Wonderful place to stop. This, people, this is who we are. This is what we are. This is what we're capable of. Never give up hope. You know, I was watching the news reports on them just a few days ago, and you could see people giving up hope. You could see the look in the parents' eyes, and the parents just wanted to keep up the hope that their boys were still alive. And you know, just the vibration level, what people feel, just dropping, like they're not going to find those kids alive. They're just, their bodies floating. The whole time, me personally, I was hoping. I was never giving in. I was praying for them. I was hoping. In meditation, they came to mind. And imagine that people actually came together and saved those kids, man. And look at that. They went through multiple levels of water in scuba gear to find somebody's babies. Every life matters. Every life. If we can go back to having value in every single human being on this planet, if we can go back to not being selective, that my kids are more important than your kids because they were born in a certain place or born to me, or I like these kids over that kid. Just think about what we are actually capable of when we stick to our principles, if we come together. That's it. That's all I got for y'all today. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. That's a very positive way to begin and end the day. Never give up hope. Never give up hope in your world. Never give up hope in children. Never give up hope. Together we can accomplish anything. This is Gerard. Y'all have a good day.
And cleats were found just outside the caves. They apparently went in to explore and became trapped by flooding caused. Caused by heavy rain. The Tham Luang cave system in Chiang Rai stretches about 6 miles into the mountain. First responders had to go about 2.5 miles from the cave system's entrance through passages obstructed by thick mud and high water to find the group. They were located near a chamber known as Pattaya Beach, which has a higher elevation. Their bikes and cleats were found just outside the caves. They apparently went in to explore and became trapped by flooding caused by heavy rain. The Tam Luang cave system in Chiang Rai stretches about 6 miles into the mountain. First responders had to go about 2.5 miles from the cave system's entrance through passages obstructed by thick mud and high water to find the group. They were located near a chamber known as